Welcome to the first newsletter for June, and this newsletter video is called Kalahari Water Tour, or Kalahari and Water Tour. To get there we've got to do a bit of traveling first. So my first stop was at Berrydale. From Ladysmith I had to go via Berrydale and Worcester, and then I had to make a couple of photo stops of the awesome mountain ranges, and it is just a fascinating area to drive by. Wolseley, Worcester, Wolseley towards Tilbach, and then finally I got into Portable, and what a lovely town. Outside of Portable I went through the wheat fields of South Africa. The guys had ploughed there and they are just waiting for the rain to fall. And then I went head onto the N7, basically towards Van Reinsdorp, and finally I got into Van Reinsdorp. I shopped around a little bit and I did find an awesome campsite. Well, it was about on sunset, but what a lovely setting. And this campsite already gives you the feeling of Africa and that Kalahari feeling with the red sand. And it was only a one night, so I set up my tour car, and the following morning, well, I was greeted by this awesome cloud cover. It's just amazing. You can't describe these things. It's just Africa. You feel the presence. You know you are in Africa. And then from Van Reinsdorp I went to what I call the top of the world. This is actually the edge of the Gondwana land. Now, for you guys that don't know what about Gondwana land, that is where the continents, the breaking points were in the splitting of the continents, and that was the lookout point where I took the photograph, and that brought me to Kalahari. In Kalahari I had to refuel. Now this is a Fiat Uno, and these little cars are very light on fuel, and one of the places I don't visit too often is a fuel pump. Okay, and then I've stopped at the Spar in Kalahari. I got me some cool drinks. Now this is the area where you find the pans. These pans are just awesome, and this is where they do land speed records in South Africa on these pans, and believe me, they do get water. Finally I went to Brandvlei and had to take a couple of photographs of Brandvlei, one of the fuel stations I didn't have to stop, and then just on the roadside a quick little stop, and then came my first signs of the Kalahari, this red sands of the Kalahari. The Kalahari does have awesome sand dunes, and this was my photo stop. A little bit of shade and time for a cool drink. One of the features of the Kalahari region is the quiver tree, and outside of Kennard you actually find the quiver tree forest. And what is interesting, there's quiver tree forests everywhere. And then as I got closer to Kaimus, I was quite surprised on the bright light on the tower from the solar farm. Now this solar farm was built about 3 years ago by the Spanish, and that is a massive tower that from the point where I was here was about 60 kilometers towards the tower itself. So that's about the distance, so you can just think of the scale of this. And then finally I got to the campsite, and at the campsite I had to run around because I was attacked by that white one. Goodness golly me. So be careful of those little things, eh? And then finally I chosen my spot at Kalahari water at the dam. It was absolutely awesome. I put up my little gazebo, and then I met the touring friends for this month's newsletter, which had traveled in a very neat Toyota Cruiser. These guys are on their way to the Kalahari desert as well, and they were just busy to put up their camp, and then finally the two of them had a barbecue. And this is Andreas and Africa. Andreas is practicing very hard. He's a fitness fanatic, as Andreas is going to run the Comrades Marathon. Well, all the best of luck for you. It won't be your first one, and I really hope you're going to enjoy the Comrades. Finally, I did my own little meal for the evening, which was just a sausage pan and some garlic bread, and some of those left over this morning for breakfast. And this is the first video of the drive up. In the next video I will be showing you more about this awesome place, Kalahari Water. Thanks for watching this one, and please watch the next one.